Welcome to our final day of new material for factoring. Yes, we did say 5 days. Tomorrow will be a review in preparation for your quiz that will be mostly factoring, also with simplifying radicals and solving by undoing. But today we're going to use a variety of methods all in one problem, as well as learning the sum or difference of cubes rule. So we've got our first problem here. 4x squared minus 16. The first thing we're going to do is check for common monomials, in other words, factoring out a GCF. Always, always, always look for GCF first, because it gets messier if you try to factor out the GCF later, because either you will forget, or you will factor it out and not factor it all the way out, or you will factor it all the way out and not combine those terms, etc., and then it makes for a mess. Step 2 then is to check for leftover parentheses for special cases. So if you have a binomial left, it'll be either nothing or it'll be a difference of squares. If it is a trinomial and the lead coefficient is 1, it'll be a t-table. If the lead coefficient is not 1 or bigger than 1 or smaller than 1, we get the AC method. And then if it is a polynomial, in other words 4 terms, we will use grouping. So let's look at this first one. I see that 4x squared and 16 both can be divided by 4. So I'm going to factor that 4 out, and I'm left with x squared minus 4. I then recognize that x squared and 4 are both perfect squares. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 4 is 2. So I still have the 4 out front, and then my difference of squares rule is x plus 2, x minus 2. And that is our final answer. Looking at the next one, I see that we have a GCF of 3, which means I have a 3 out front, and I'm left with x squared plus 2x plus 1. I see now that I need, because I have a trinomial and lead coefficient is 1, I'm going to multiply to 1, add to 2. Well, nice part is that 1 times 1 is your only option. That does add to 2, so we're good to go. That means I get 3 times x plus 1 times x plus 1. However, because these match, I'm going to shorten up my answer to 3 times x plus 1 squared. Because there are 2 of them, I might as well shorten up my answer. All right? Pretty straightforward. Let's try one more example. Here, I see I can factor out a GCF of 2. So I have the 2 out front. I've got x squared plus 3x minus 10. I see that it's a t-table, so I need to multiply to negative 10, add to 3. Means my bigger number needs to be positive. So I've got 10 times negative 1. I've got 5 times negative 2. We've seen that number before. This gives me the 3 I need. So that means I now have 2 times x plus 5 times x minus 2. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple to work through. Then we get problems like this, where we don't have perfect squares, but we have perfect cubes. And so the rule follows as such, and yes, you will not be given the rule for difference of squares on the test or the quiz, but we will give you the difference of cubes rule. If you have a cubed minus b cubed, you will have a minus b. This will match. And then you have a squared plus ab plus b squared. This will always be plus. This will always be the opposite of whatever is in the problem. But like I said, because it's hard for people to remember, we will give you these rules. So that means now for here, I need to take my x cubed. I can't square root it because it's a cube, so I'm going to cube root it. I'm also going to cube root 8. Make use of your calculator unless you know these perfect cubes, which I did give you in your 6.1. Cube root of x cubed is x. Cube root of 8 is 2. So now I have my rule. So this is a minus, so I will follow the first one. I have x minus 2. A squared, so now I go x squared because I'm squaring that term. Because this is my a and this is my b. And then I take a times b, so that's plus 2x. And then I square b, which is 4. And it's a matter of just putting them into the formula. That's why I like to write out my A's and my B's. The next one, we have a plus. So it means I'm going to use my second rule. So I need to cube root 8x cubed, which is 2x. And I need to cube root 27, which is 3. So this is my A, this is my B. So it says I need to take A plus B, so 2x plus 3. And then I need to square A, so I need to square 2x, which is 4x squared. We don't square one and not the other. We have to square both the 2 and the x. Minus 2x times 3, which is 6x. Plus b squared, 3 squared is 9. And there you have it. So now, what I need you to do is practice these 2 U-try problems, write your summaries, and bring your questions with you